harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said you're up and I'm up, and now y'all are tuned in to the Grind Hard Dream Big Show. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I got my brother in the building today, y'all. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yes, yes, yes. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's good, y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's that sports dude, Chris Dunlap, owner, CEO of TSDN, that Sports Dude Network, covering everything DCIAA high school sports. And Jay, man, it is an honor to join you on Grind Hard Dream Big.
Yes, yes, yes. So how are you feeling spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally? How are you feeling today,
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Most importantly, man, I'm blessed.
Yes.
More than anything. My family is blessed. God is taking so good care of us, man. And you know me, my goal is to just do what God wants me to do and make sure I stay on his path.
Amen to that. Amen to that, man. And vice versa. You know, it's a hard week, you know, grinding, working, and everything like that. I'm just making sure that everybody's safe, everybody's good, cool, calm, and collective, you know, journaling more, reading more. Yeah. I advise people to read books. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their turkey, you know, on Thanksgiving Day and, you know, the Turkey Bowl.
Yes.
Speaking about that, we're going to get into all that, man.
Yes,
but, like,
sir.
Going back to it all, I feel like the notion of you doing broadcasting, what I feel is so amazing in what you're doing is you're spotlighting an area that you're from, you know, born and raised, knowing the stomping grounds of. So how was your childhood like, you know, getting into this moment and what you're doing now?
Well, surprisingly, and I say this all the time, me being a broadcaster is probably like the opposite of what, especially for people who knew me in middle school and high school, it's probably like the opposite of what people would expect I would be doing with my life. Okay. Because I was quiet, you know, a little self-conscious, didn't have a lot of confidence. Really, a lot of my confidence, you know, came when I met my now wife, but, you know, then girlfriend. I met my wife in high school. A lot of the confidence came from being with her and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
And the way I really got into broadcasting, especially covering the high school sports in D.C., when I had my first internship, one of my coworkers, my man Gene Thorpe, he was going out at that time, you know, covering the high schools. They weren't doing anything, you know, on the level that I'm doing it or the caliber that I'm doing it. But they were going out covering the high school games, and he asked me, because I was coaching football at that time.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Okay.
And he asked me, did I want to help out? And from there, man, it was just fell in love with it.
Right. So you played as, I assume you played football too?
Yes.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, what school was that you played for?
The H.D. Woodson. I'm a two-time Turkey Bowl champion, especially if y'all can see that. The first three-peat in school history, I was a part of that 2010 Turkey Bowl team, as well as the one before that in 2009.
That's
but yep,
up.
H.D. Woodson.
That's what's up. H.D. Woodson, man. Yeah, I think my man went there too. Shout out to Smoot, man.
Yes, shout out to Game 6
Game
brand
6
too,
brand.
man. Yeah, that's my guy. That's my man.
For sure. I think what's really, really dope, right? Because you think we talk about DMV sports, or we just talk about DMV period.
Right.
You know, they talk about PG sports, you know, VA sports. This microscope, this light that you have given DC sports, I think is not talked about enough, because I don't remember coverage like that.
You're right.
You would never really see it like that. Sure, you would hear it in the news. You know, okay, it may be on your channel 7, your channel, 5, or channel 9, but you never really heard about it like that. Right. So what made you like, all right, cool, I'm locked in, you know, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and where was the need where you felt like, all right, you know what, I'm the missing link?
Well, man, that's a good question, because when I was in high school, and like to your point, the coverage was a big maybe. Sometimes we would see news stations and reporters on the Turkey Bowl, and then we wouldn't see them until the next Turkey Bowl.
Wow, okay.
So the coverage was non-existent, really. And I know my name, that had we had that coverage,
right,
so many more of my teammates, and even not just my teammates, but our peers from other schools, would have gotten much more exposure, would have gotten more, opportunities to play in college,
for sure,
get free scholarships and all that good stuff. And not just in football, but in every sport. Because there was some crazy, especially girls track, girls basketball at that time, boys basketball. Man, like there was so much talent that was going unnoticed.
Right.
And for me to be able to be in this position now where I'm covering, from football all the way to volleyball, And soon, if my schedule allows for me to, girls softball and stuff like
That's
that,
what's up.
to be able to fill that void of coverage and give these student athletes of today what my generation didn't get, man.
Right.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, it
but
is.
You're right. It was the cover was non-existent, so I'm glad I'm able to do it.
Right, because I think that, being who you needed when you were younger or trying to fill a void
Yep.
which you didn't really see. Because, for me, it's like, wow, okay, I see the sports
man.
going on. I love sports. When it comes to basketball, football,
Yep.
soccer. I watch soccer. People are like, huh? You watch soccer too? Yeah, I watch soccer too.
I get a lot because I'm a big NASCAR fan. I
Yeah,
get a lot
yeah,
there too.
you feel me? I watch soccer. I can keep up with the sports, but it's just like in the DMV in general, because I went to Flowers High School, so Prince George's
Shout out
County.
Flowers.
Shout out to Flowers, a proud alum. I just knew that it was covered different, or looked at, or viewed upon different.
Yeah.
So when I hear about the DC schools, I was familiar with the H.D. Woodsons. I was familiar with the Dunbar. Heard about Theodore Roosevelt. Heard about Wilson, but it wasn't really in a big microscope. I felt like every time I looked at it, it was always either Dunbar or H.D. Woodson,
Yep.
right? Because you would view it on the news and be like, all right, cool, these were the people.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, man.
That's exactly what it was. And nowadays, and I don't know if this is like a direct correlation, but from when I started, and not to toot my own horn, because I'm the most humble guy that you'll ever meet. But from when I started and really started going, in with it in 2017. From 2017, fast forward to now, like the coverage, it's gone from here, man, and it's out the wind. It's through the roof.
Right.
And that was always the goal. Like, some people ask me, like, do you ever get upset, like, when, news stations come and cover and it kind of overshadows? I'm like, no, that was the dream. Like,
Yeah.
that was the goal.
Right, yeah, because you want to be in that microscope as in like, all right, I'm covering it, but dang, man, I'm inspired. I see the Fox 5 out here.
Right.
Channel 7 out here? Channel 9 out here?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay,
That's
okay.
the goal.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is,
goal.
because you could connect that way as well. And it's like, I think also because, we met each other at Bowie State University.
Shout out Bowie State.
Shout out to Bowie State.
Hey, they got a playoff game, too. Shout out
man,
Bowie.
they won.
They won.
Yeah, they're
oh,
the
yeah,
CIA
that's
champions.
true. Yep.
Three-peated.
That's
So,
crazy.
shout out to them. But we met a professor at Kenny's class, man. And I remember, radio production, and we would just talk and have healthy conversations, man. Positive vibes only. It was just beautiful to see from that transformation from now to, doing what we love to do. Because, it's really banking on ourselves and giving ourselves the job, really, and, pursuing our dream and being all in on it, man. And it takes sacrifice. It takes will. It takes dedication. It takes a lot of these things, man. And you were able to look at it.
You got to get your hustle on.
Yeah, you got to get your hustle on. To that too. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. You got to get your hustle on. And like I said, you gave me that platform, too, to, talk about that and being motivational and inspirational to people because, young brothers like us, it's hard. It's rough.
Yes.
When we talk about, environment, surroundings, things that are around us, things that we endure and overcome on a day-to-day basis. Like, people don't know what it's like. So, you coming from D.C., people may look at D.C. as in like, oh, man, they ain't up to no good. They in the projects. They in the hood, but you're able to, withstand that and look at it like, okay, you know what? I'm not that. And what I also wanted to highlight on your platform, which is really, really dope as well, you're really advocating and giving them a platform to be interviewed.
Yes.
Because some of these kids, they're not interviewed. They're known that, okay, he's the quarterback or he's the running back or he's the wide receiver or he's the defensive end or he's the corner.
And you never really get to know the person behind the player.
Exactly. Right? So for you to, not only interview a coach, but interview a player to talk about the transgression and what, what happened throughout the whole entire season, leading up to the moment or that big game or whatever it is. That's dope because, kids need that.
Yes.
Kids need that, man. I didn't see that before.
And that's really the goal. Like, when I do something, whether it's an interview or even something as small as, like, posting stat leaders on my social media.
Right.
The number one thing that I have in my mind is, like, okay, how will this help a kid get recruited? How will this share who this young man or young woman is to a college scout or college program,
Right.
how will it help the surrounding area to get to know who they are?
Right.
Because all that stuff matters. Because one thing, and for everybody listening, and Jay,
Yeah.
you'll definitely agree with this.
Yeah, for sure.
You're your own brand.
Yeah, for sure.
You're
You
your
are. You
own
definitely
brand.
are.
So my goal is just to show people on field, in the classroom, and then who they are as a person. Because a lot of these kids, they are incredible.
Right, I believe that.
They are so incredible, so well spoken. Some are hilarious. Like I did a mic'd up series on my mic'd up show, Amplified. I went to Wilson High School's volleyball practice and mic'd up one of their star players, Summer Campbell, who actually, and shout out to Wilson volleyball. Shout out for bringing that state championship to DCIAA. Shout out
That's
to
what's
y'all.
up. That's what's up.
So, and I went. So while we were shooting that, one of her teammates. When I say this, probably the funniest girl in the entire league. Like she had me crying, laughing the whole time, even going back to edit it. So stuff like that is important. I think it's important for people to know who these kids are,
Right.
as a person, as
Yeah.
well as on the field and
Yeah,
academically.
exactly. Being a student first and the athlete 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very, very big in our community because, we look at it like, oh, yeah, you know what? Shorty can play ball, though. Oh, yeah, man, that dude's a beast. That dude's a beast. But we have to also, be able to look at them and view them as a student first
Yes.
because we know how it is and the rhetoric is in our community, how the narratives are painted. Oh, yeah, they can ball, but where the grades at? Or
Right.
they can ball, but they can't read, they can't write.
Yep.
Which
is so crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is so
Which is
crazy.
crazy, but that narrative that you're creating yourself. Because I feel like a lot of people be like, man, we need to change the narrative.
Yep.
We need to change the narrative. We got to create one first, and this is what you're doing
That's true.
with your network, man. And it's beautiful to see.
And to that point, that's a great point. Changing the narrative. Before I started, and some of this was self-inflicted upon the league, and I can say it because I played in the league as well, so I know some things. DCIAA as a whole did not get a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Did not get a lot of good coverage, and when I mean good coverage, coverage that makes the league look good.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you. Okay.
Some self-inflicted. You had people, maybe broke rules here and there. But for whatever reason, for every one bad thing that happened, there were 100 great things that happened.
Right.
But the only thing that would get attention is that one
That
bad
negativity.
thing. Yep, the negativity. So what I strive to do, especially, in the infancy stages of TSDN, is to really just paint the league in the best picture possible so that what we're seeing today, the Fox 5s, the WSA 9s, the WJLAs, and et cetera, would feel comfortable to say, okay, it doesn't have that bad stigma that it once had. Now we can come out and, hey, let's put these kids on so we don't get any backlash from our people.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, it's really filling that void. A lot of us, we are afraid sometimes to put people in position. Sometimes we look at that. So it's like, for me, I was just like, man, you took a leap of faith to actually do what you wanted to do. Because I was just like, okay, cool. I'm seeing it. And it's like, okay, it's growing. Okay, Facebook. Okay, Instagram. Now I see it like you're covering almost everything. So I feel like you've challenged yourself in so many ways to set that bar high and, leap over that bar. You know what I'm saying?
And you're right. It was a big leap of faith. I even tell you, I've told this story a couple times. So, like when I made the decision to really go full in on it, on my high school football and athletic coverage, it was probably one of the worst times in my life. My family and we had fallen on some really hard financial troubles. We were coming out of we were in a situation where the apartment that we were living in, ceiling caved in.
Oh, wow.
And the rental company that we were renting from, they were, dishonest in court. It was crazy. So I was really in probably the worst, one of the worst points in my life at that time. But I was sitting down one day, and I'm a man of faith.
Right.
I was sitting down one day, man, just chilling. I think we were sitting and we were staying with my wife's in-laws.
Okay.
I mean, my wife's parents.
Okay.
So we were just sitting one day, man, and I don't remember what we were doing. I think my daughter, Christian, I think she was just running around playing, and we were just all sitting there. Everybody was doing their own thing. And God said, start a new open for the show. So I sat back. I'm like, whoa, what? Because at that time I wasn't gonna do anything else with it, because some of the opportunities that I was trying to get, they fell through. So I was kind of really done with it at that time, trying to figure out what was next.
Okay.
But when God spoke to me and said, "Hey man, start a new open for the show," just like that.
Right.
I told my wife, I said, "Hey, I just got this download to make a new open for the show. Do you mind taking the lead with Christian so that we can?" So that I can go ahead and do this. It's for the first time I really, felt energized to do something with the network.
Right, for sure.
So made the open, and then from there, man, just so many ideas started to flood in, and like as they say, the rest is history.
Right,
that's really the emphasis.
That's dope, because like I said, sometimes you can go through that storm.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying?
It's
and that storm is
that's
weird.
Part of the testimony. Yeah,
it is. Because like I said, for me to be in this light right now. Man, I can't even imagine. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's like I never thought I would get to this particular point, because the pandemic was the blessing in disguise for me.
Yep.
It really was like, okay, you know what, Jay, sit down. You moving too much.
Wow, yeah, man.
You're moving way too much, and you need to just sit down. Mm-hmm. You need to relax. You need to simplify what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Stop complicating things.
Wow.
Stop trying to do A, B, and C. Just work on A first.
Yep.
Then get the B.
That is great.
Then get the C.
Then
you go ahead and do that, because the thing about it is, when you simplify things, it's less stress for you, right? So I know me, I'm always on the go. I'm a busy person. I like to be probably a million places in one. Overcommit, right? And I'm gonna be real,
we assimilate
because
that
we can overcommit to a lot of things,
That's
right?
true.
And it's like, man, you know what? Dang, I was supposed to be there, and I ain't there. And then you beat yourself up about it so much, right? So this was literally for me. A reset.
Yeah.
I had to reset everything. All right, cool. What is it that I want to do next? What excitement do I have to create for myself? Mm-hmm. And it led to motivational videos. It led to reading more books.
Those, by the way.
And then it led to, okay, you know what? Let me really be a vessel. Mm-hmm. Let me really pour into people. Let me really get myself together. So Grind Hard, Dream Big, to me, is this safe space where people can have conversations, and we can really just, I can be happy. This is my happy space. Yep. And I let people know that, hey, man, it's okay not to be okay.
That's true.
Because the journey needs to be highlighted. The grind is real. And, we have to just be real and vulnerable with ourselves. So this is this place.
And that's why I love that the episode of Grind Hard, Dream Big that you guys did about mental health.
Right.
I loved that episode. I thought that was a very important conversation.
Shout out to Asia, by the way.
Yeah. I love that episode.
For sure.
I thought that was a really, good conversation for y'all to have. Because, like you said, the grind is hard. And sometimes you do have to take a step back. And you made a point earlier that kind of resonates with me. Taking that leap of faith and really following what you want to do. Like, people got to, a lot of people have to understand, when you make the decision to follow your dream, that's not going to be easy.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not going to be easy, but worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'll tell you, man, sometimes having to get up and edit video and then, drop my, today, my wife and my daughter's at home. Don't get it wrong. I'm glad to be at the podcast, but man, it wasn't easy to
exactly.
leave my daughters at home.
Yeah, because you're a family man and you have priorities and you have things that you need to get in line.
But it's worth it to chase your dreams. It comes with it, like sacrifice, like you said, but it's worth it.
Right.
So I just encourage everybody out there, Hear what my man is saying and follow in his footsteps. Just love.
Yeah. I think, for us, when we talk about, trials and tribulations, we go through a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And in the social media realm, I think social media is a tool, right?
Yes.
That's what I had to learn.
Yep.
Because at first I was just like, man, I'm going to just post whatever. Everybody's just going to see whatever it is I want to post.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Post a piece of pizza, post whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Especially on Instagram at the early stage.
Right, exactly. But now over time, you're like, okay, oh, it's a tool.
Yes.
Oh, I bet this is how people are navigating it. All right, cool. So for me, I was like, all right, cool. I had to really find the formula for myself.
Yeah.
Because I think when we look at different realms, we look at different people, we be like, man, I want to be just like them. Why? What's happening to them? I need that to happen to me, like right now. And we get caught up in this competition.
Yeah.
And I'm reading in books, and I'm even noting to myself, like, life is not a competition. It's really not.
Nope.
So your upbringing in everything that you soak in early. You know, I played sports, so it's like, man, I would love to win. I would love to win. All I want, you know, son, you better go win. You know, that type of notion. And it's like that stigma that's on you already. Like, I just want to have fun. Let me just go in and make a 3-pointer just to make a 3-pointer. Right. Let me score a touchdown just to score a touchdown. I don't care about the W. I don't care about the loss. I'm just out here having fun. But the notion of you got to be the absolute best at every single thing that you do. I think you just got to be the best version of you.
Yes.
And be happy about that and know that, hey, I can smile. It's all good. Win some, lose some.
Right.
Life goes on.
And then don't be and I'll even add to that, like, and don't be mad when other people have success.
Yeah, that too.
Other people's success, I see a lot of that, especially in DC, and I can't. That's one of the things about my city that I don't like. One person's success doesn't take away from the success that another person has.
Right. Yeah. I think it's the crabs in the barrel mentality too.
Unfortunately,
because you know we learn a lot. And we see a lot, and we like, man, I want this, or man, I want that, or why hasn't this happened to me? I've known him, and this, that, and the third. But, you know, it's that unity and community in what I see, because, you know, like I said, you're covering DC sports. You're covering Southeast, Southwest, Northwest, Northeast. So you're in all, you know, different, you know, parts of DC. And a lot of people be like, man, well, it's all the same. I think it's different, you know.
Oh, yeah. No,
so different. For you to, you know, cover that, talk about this year in particular. I feel like, you know, COVID has challenged us a lot. So what was really different in your approach covering this year? Or what was it this year that you really set and was like, all right, you know what, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z? Well, I was able to do.
Well, I'm a huge planner.
Right.
And a lot of the things that I'm doing this year, I had already planned to do in 2020.
Okay.
So kind of like you, 2020 really gave me an opportunity to, well, it didn't give me an opportunity. It forced me to slow down.
Force your hand, yeah.
Forced me to slow down and really game plan even more about, you know, what I was going to do. And I told somebody this early in the year. I said, man, they gave me 18 months of nothing. I'm getting ready to go crazy. And I'm about to go crazy with the coverage. And that's what and I'm proud to say that's what our network did. Like covering volleyball, girls and boys soccer, and football. That was already the plan.
Okay.
The way we previewed the football season with training camp and then our live prediction show, that was already a plan that I had in place. The mic'd up show, Amplified, that was something that we already had in place. So really, I'd already had these plans, but 2020 really forced me to slow down and really fine-tune any loose ends with, you know, equipment, with myself as a person. And then coming into August of 2021, it was really just saying, okay, I got this plan. I cannot doubt the vision that God has given me, and I just got to execute.
Right, yeah. And it's crazy because I be saying that. Like, every Monday, I be like, organize, plan, and execute because when you, like I said, you can't perform unless you plan.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Okay, somebody done heard that before. Yes. I heard that before, too. Okay, yeah, and it's like, you know, you had this idea, and it was execution time for you.
Yeah.
And
it was a grind too. Like I think the first, because DCIAA football training camp started August 2nd. I had a shoot every day from August 2nd to like August 12th or something like that. It was like 10
you going to all the schools? You just ripping and running and going to all the schools?
It was 10 straight days of shooting and editing, and this is on top of at that time. Doing Lyft and DoorDash. I got a new position now.
Hustling. Hey, man, shout out to my brother. Just making it happen, dog. Making it happen.
God is good, man. I got to
say. Absolutely. But you utilizing everything that you need really is right in front of you.
Yes.
I think sometimes we look to the left a lot, we look to the right a lot, but everything is really right in front of us. We have to utilize that. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. So even with you covering all the schools, I can only imagine what the gas was like. That's crazy. Ripping around.
The gas.
Yeah, really. Ripping around like, oh, excuse me. Stop here. Northeast, Southeast.
I'll tell you
Northeast.
this. The one good thing about COVID is that when nobody going nowhere, so gas prices started to drop.
Right. Yeah.
So once when I was doing that really strong stretch where I was shooting like every day, luckily gas was still under $3.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can put a little bit more in my tank, I'm
Right.
Now Sky Roof, everybody on the road.
Now,
Like, hold on, y'all need to slow these prices down.
Now gas prices. Somebody said I saw on Facebook. Somebody said gas prices look like GPAs.
Oh wow, man,
I was crying.
Yeah, higher than the 4.0.
Yeah, I was crying laughing.
And that's just on the regular. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But yeah, I think it's just it's just amazing to see that, man, because going into this year, like I said, for DC Sports, for me, you created an umbrella for me to really like just watch. Like I said, shout out to Smooth for coaching Wilson.
Yes,
and he's done phenomenal work. That's my brother, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I salute that.
Him,
and anybody that's working
Chris.
with youth, because like I said, it's more than coaching.
Yes.
Right? Or for you, it's more than covering.
Yes.
Because you
Much more.
built this relationship with, a lot of these schools, a lot of these people, and just, being that void for them, giving them that encouragement, win, lose, or draw, for the game. So going into this year with, your predictions and everything like that, were you surprised at the season and how it turned out?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
For once, I actually predicted the Turkey Bowl winner correctly.
Okay.
Because I started making predictions in 2017, 18, and 2019. There was no DCIAA sports in 2020.
Okay.
But I got every prediction wrong. Whoever I said was going to win the Turkey Bowl ended up losing or not making it.
Okay.
So this year, based on what I saw in 2019 and based on, what each team had coming back, the team that I thought was going to be the best football team was Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay.
And shout out to Roosevelt. They actually did defeat H.D. Woodson in Turkey Bowl 51. Really put a pretty good hurting on H.D. Woodson.
Right.
Surprisingly to me, I figured they would win, but I didn't think they would win by a couple scores.
Yeah, and the thing about Roosevelt, the Roosevelt I was always accustomed to was Eleanor, right?
Yeah.
Prince George, right? So
Yep.
it's like, okay, Theodore, and to me, they were undefeated up until that point, correct?
Yep, they were
missed a
undefeated in DC Public School League play. They had an early season loss to Carroll. The only loss they had was to Carroll. That was the first game of the year.
Okay.
So since then, boom, just
But
running
within
tables.
conference play, there was
Yep,
undefeated.
within conference play.
All right, so they took care of home. Then.
Yes,
they took
they
care of
did.
their business.
Yes, they did.
Okay, because I think it was a lot of teams that were out there playing, and like I said, shout out to Wilson, shout out to Ballou, shout out to all of those schools because I think what it is it's really really hard for programs to come together and one play. And then to see organized ball.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we don't look at it in that microscope.
Right.
We look at it like, oh, okay, well, man, they really out here doing their thing. Yeah, they really are. So with Theodore Roosevelt, I think you had interviewed the coach as well.
Yep. Coach Chris Harden.
And shout out to him. I think it was an underdog mentality for them, though.
Yes.
Because, like I said before, you look at H.D. Woodson, household name.
Yes, 16-time Turkey Bowl.
Right,
champions.
so it's like, okay, they
Rick
supposed to be
Flair.
there.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yep.
Like, they supposed to be there. They going to be whoever is there,
Right.
that's they the potential favorites.
Yep.
So, for Roosevelt to have the season that they did, them being undefeated, years ago, this team wasn't really talked about like that.
No, not in the least bit. Theodore Roosevelt hasn't won. This is their first championship. Well, their first Turkey Bowl championship since 1979.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's a long time.
Coach Chris Harden, he took the job. And this is actually a pretty good story. I'll tell it real quick. Coach Chris Harden took the Theodore Roosevelt coaching job in 2015. He's an alumni. He's an alum of Dunbar Senior High School. He actually is a 3-time Turkey Bowl champion in his own right.
Okay, that's what's
So
up.
when he took the job with Theodore Roosevelt, the principal told him that there were 3 players on the roster going into that season. So he kind of had to take a second. It's like, whoa, like what the heck I'm going to do? I ain't got but 3 players.
Right.
So him and his coaching staff, they, started recruiting within the schools. Before he took the Roosevelt job, he was coaching at Kingman Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to Kingman, a great youth program. So he was able to recruit some of his old players to come play for him at Roosevelt. They started in what's called the DCIAA Stripes division. It's the I guess you could say lower tier division for the more programs that are rebuilding and trying to get their programs
definitely
back.
got to rebuild for sure.
So they won the Stripes division championship 2 straight years, and then got promoted to what's called the Stars division, where they would be able to compete for the Turkey Bowl.
Okay.
2 years, they made the playoffs. The first year lost, made the playoffs. The second year lost. And this year, he said, and I quote, "This is going to be another caliber of Roosevelt." And from game 1 to Thanksgiving Day, we saw nothing but different caliber of Roosevelt.
Right, yeah, because I was about to say, like, it's like a it's like an unsung hero story, right?
Yeah, because like Roosevelt before he got there could barely field a team, right? And it's not, and you know, we look at teams, especially at that time, like H.D. Woodson, you know, sometimes got 50 players,
right?
So for them to come from not being able to field a team to being a Turkey Bowl champions,
right?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's probably
definitely an underdog story.
It's an underdog story. Man. You know, it's probably got a lot of good vibes to it too, because you know, for me, I love rooting for underdogs.
Yes.
People that never really been in that moment to just capture that moment. So I can only imagine what it is. But, you know, hats off to both teams that competed. Yes. You know, shout outs to HD for, you know, reminding people of their stable and how dominant they've been, because, you know, they always make sure that they get there.
Yes.
They always do. Yep. I can always say that. And, you know, for Theodore, you know, shout outs to them, man, because, like I said, man, it's okay to let people have their moments.
That's true, man.
Shine,
That's
you know?
true.
Hopefully, I want to see, you know, some other teams come out there and do their thing too. I didn't really have any predictions. I was like, man, it's been a minute since I seen Dunbar.
Yeah.
You feel me? I remember Dunbar back in, you know, 06, 07, 08.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the real Dunbar.
Right, yeah.
That's
they were sitting there blowing people
out.
out.
Shout out to Coach Bink and that team over at Dunbar. They had a real good season too. And they actually won Turkey Bowl 50 in 2019.
Okay.
But the Dunbar that you're talking about,
that was a force to be reckoned with. Ooh. That's what I was saying. I remember that all the time. Because I remember they used to have cross play against Carroll, and dude, Carroll was filthy back then. You know what I'm saying? They used to be putting that joint used to look like Madden or something.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, hold on, real quick.
Like just crazy dogs.
Yeah.
Vernon, a quick nugget. I love this. A lot of people don't know this. In 2000, Dunbar versus Ballou in the Turkey Bowl.
Okay.
Josh Cribbs, who is a Dunbar alum, and Vernon Davis, who's also a Dunbar alum, connected for a touchdown pass.
Wow.
So Josh Cribbs, who used to play quarterback in high school and college, threw a touchdown pass to Vernon Davis while they were in high school.
Okay.
And then they, you know, both go off, have these great
pro
careers. Like, how about that?
Man, look, DC got talent, Maryland got talent, VA got talent, the DMV got talent.
I'll tell you, the DMV is probably, maybe other than like Texas, it's probably the hottest place for talent right here, right now. And maybe I'm a little biased because, like I said, I grew up in DC. I'm a Turkey Bowl champion in my own right. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I'm okay with that.
I'm from Prince George's County, and I will sit there and tell you, Prince George's County, like I said, DMV, we have a lot of talent.
So much talent.
Shout out to Yannick Inagwe.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Tavon
Diggs, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We got a lot of good players out here, man. Chase Young, you know, hopefully he bounces back off the injury.
Yeah, man.
You know, we have a lot of great players.
Yep.
Not only for football, but basketball as well. I mean, Kevin Durant, Victor Oladipo, Quinn Cook. The list goes on.
I'm telling you, that could be a whole show within itself.
Exactly, man. You know, it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely beautiful to see. So when we talk about DC sports, I like I said, man, giving you your flowers in your garden right now, my brother, because it's unheard of.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah.
You taking the camera and being like, all right, you know what? I'm going to film this game. I'm going to go ahead and capture this. Like, it's needed because these kids probably look forward to seeing you pull up and just knowing that I'm not, you know, somebody's coming to look at my game. Somebody's coming to see me. Somebody's giving me a platform.
Somebody cares.
Yep. Yeah, so I just think that's very, very awesome and dope what you're doing, man. Like, it's not talked about enough. And, like, for me, like I said before, to even be on your platform, that sports, like, you didn't have to interview little old me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to do that, but we talked about, you know, hustle on and motivation and just, you know, the ins and outs. Because, like I said, man, us being on the college grind and working and praying. You know, even our conversations, we prayed for each other on the phone, you know, and people have to understand that too. It's nothing wrong to, salute somebody or, root for somebody or pray for somebody through tough times and just for direction and speed and guidance and things like that because it's needed. We don't normalize these conversations.
We all we got, especially, I'll say for me, and especially being a broadcaster in D.C., there's so many other platforms who do the same thing I do. My man Alfonso Duckett with the Who's in the Zoo Network. My man Chad Ricardo with the Ricardo Report and High Def High School. Bully Worldwide, Unsung Prospects, and Be Different Media. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about how many people do similar things that I do. You would think, especially, what we've been told, we got to be the best, we got to do this, You would think that, oh, man, I got to, elbow them. I got to make sure I get my... I do more putting other people on than I put myself on 90% of the time.
Okay.
My man Zoe, easily I'll text him, yo, bruh, because he's the number one source for basketball. Okay. DCIAA basketball. I hit him up, hey, bruh, we doing this preview show. I'm doing a basketball preview show. Actually, a couple years ago, first time I did a basketball preview show. I said, hey, bruh, so I'm doing this basketball preview show. You the number one source of basketball, so I got to have you on there. And really, the only thing, I'm going to just really kind of facilitate the show and organize the flow of the show. I want you to really just do you.
Right.
You, give all, you do what you do.
Right.
And then we're going to put it out there, and I can push more people to your network.
Right.
So they can see your basketball coverage, because he does a great job. And that's my man.
Right.
My man, Chad Ricardo. I'm going to be starting to do some commentary for Howard University girls, men's and women's basketball.
That's what's up, man.
But I'm not starting until this month, later this month. So they asked me, because they had some stuff in November, and they asked me, said, all right, Chris, do you know anybody that could do our game, this Friday and this Wednesday and this Thursday? I said, yeah, give me 1 second. Hit my man Chad up. I said, hey, Chad, I'm getting ready to start some commentary with Howard, but I'm not starting until December, and they are looking for somebody to do their games now.
Right.
Are you available tomorrow and the next day? He said, give me like 5 minutes, I'll tell you. Boom, got back to me. Said, yeah, let him know I will. I said, cool. You want the guy's information? Call him, do your thing, put him on. He is now the voice of Howard University sports.
That's what's up.
Like, and I've seen this happen to so many different people. They put somebody on, and then they would be mad that person goes out and just crushes it and excels.
Right.
No.
Nah, you can't get mad at that. Yeah.
I want everybody to win.
Yeah.
I will share my platform regardless. If you are doing something, if you proving yourself to be someone who has the same heart for these kids or the same heart for people that I have, I'm going to put you on the best way that I can. Like so many different, young, photographers and video creators in the city who maybe don't have the large platform that I have, but still do a great job. Like my man T with the cam. The first time I met him was at a McKinley Tech game. And he walked up to me. I had seen some of his stuff, and he walked up to me and said, hey, you know who I am? And I looked at him. I said, UT with the cam? He said, oh, man, I feel famous. I said, nah, bro, I've seen your stuff. Your pictures is fire.
That's what's up.
And then after the game, and I shouted him and a couple other people out. And now they, man, off doing some incredible stuff on their own right. So
yeah, it's dope. I think putting people in position is the dope thing, man. Yeah, and I salute to you for that, because I feel like that's what I do vice versa. Like, if you have something that you want to share, if it's something that you feel like is heartfelt,
and that's why I wanted you on my show when we did it.
Yeah, because we connect and we align. I think alignment is the biggest thing, right? And us as a community, it's hard because where we want that glow, we
Right.
want that shine, we want to be like, man, well, it's me, but we have to realize that no, God is using you
Yes.
to connect to
Yes.
somebody else,
Yep.
so that way that person can connect to that person,
Yep.
and then you gotta, we talk about blessings a lot, but we have to be a blessing in order to receive one.
Yep.
So I think that's the bigger thing. Like it's about position for sure, but you have to understand it's a long-term game.
Yeah,
and
man.
you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be patient.
And the last thing I ever want to do, and I know you probably can agree with this too, the last thing I don't want to get to the top and then be lonely.
Nah,
No,
you don't.
I want everybody at the top. I want
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, we
now
are.
they always say
Yeah,
congratulations,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Yeah, because, it gets lonely.
It's room for everybody. at
It
the
is,
top.
though. Or, it get lonely when you grinding and everybody want to be at the party. I don't want it to be like that.
Yeah, man.
You can work with me. You can party, as long as everybody understands
Yep.
what that is. So, favorite sports movie of all time? Since we on this,
Oh, that's an easy one.
Is it easy?
Love and basketball.
Is it easy?
Love and basketball.
Loving basketball, why?
I love loving basketball because, first of all, it's just a really good movie, and I'm a big Sanaa Lathan fan.
Yeah, so now I like the girl. She kills it. I ain't gonna lie. She
But
kills
the
it.
way that Love and Basketball is produced, they go through the timeline of their lives using kind of like basketball terms, like the first quarters, like when they were kids and
Right.
in high school, second quarter, college, and stuff like that, and how their relationship changed over the course of those years. And then that final scene when they're playing one-on-one, she said, "I'll play you for your heart."
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
bro, it gets me every time.
Yeah, I could watch that movie over and over again.
Love and the greatest sports love story ever told.
Okay.
I love
I'm gonna say,
basketball.
for me personally, I'm not gonna lie, man. So I was torn between two. The two that I was torn between, Coach Carter
I heard Coach Carter's Coach Carter's really good.
and Remember the Titans.
Of course, yeah.
And the
remember
reason
Titans.
why, because
you can't argue. That's a close
that's
second for
Denzel
me.
being Denzel,
Yeah,
and you
oh
had
my
Samuel being Samuel.
That was
but
great.
if you were gonna say, all right, you know what, Jay, what movie do you see yourself in? Coach Carter, for sure.
Carter. Why
Reason
so?
why? Because I loved basketball so much, but I was hard-headed coming up. I didn't like to listen. So I remember, like, youngin' that had the bush, and he was like,
Yeah.
man, all I wanted to do is just shoot the threes. I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
my
feel
brother,
that.
I'm with you on that. If you ever watch this, me and you the same. Because I'm
I
trying to
feel
tell
that.
you, I felt like,
feel
all
that.
right, give me the ball. I'm going to just shoot I ain't got to run this place.
Right,
Me, my
right,
time. What you
right.
mean?
You wanna win,
Yeah, I
put
wanna
me
win,
in.
put
Let
me
me
in.
spin.
Yeah. So I was just off of that notion. But what Samuel L. Jackson did with those kids, groundbreaking.
Yeah, man.
He put the lock on the door. Yeah, I ain't practicing today. Community looked at him like he was crazy. Student first.
Yep. Student first.
Athlete second. Them kids got not only athletic scholarships, but academic ones
Wow.
on top of that.
Yep.
In the city of Richmond. Small city.
Yep.
The program within itself wasn't even talked about. I think they won like maybe 2 to 3, 4 games the year before.
Wow.
He comes through and he gives them energy. He gives them swagger. He tells these kids, okay, y'all don't feel like y'all belong because nobody told y'all belong.
Wow.
But I'm going to tell y'all that y'all belong.
How many people need to hear that today?
A lot.
Wow.
I need to hear that on a
Yeah.
constant basis. I do.
Yep.
Because sometimes we don't feel like we belong. So that movie to me was a transformation
Right.
of hope. Because we get stuck on the athlete. We get stuck on the entertainment. That's all we got to do is entertain. No.
Nah, man.
They made sure that they was in the books, study hall.
Yep.
It was beautiful. And that's what I see with this generation now. I would love to see that because
Yeah.
they're talented either on the track, on the field, on the court, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you got to have it up here.
Right.
If you don't have it up here, it's like, what else?
You really,
Something else is
you
gonna
really,
click
you really
or
don't
register.
have anything if you don't have it up here because what you have up here they can't take away from you.
Absolutely.
Like you can be the #1 recruit in the nation, blow your knee out the next day,
Right.
and then what?
Right. So it's like they have to really understand the notion of it. So it's like it's beautiful being an athlete, you know, in this time. You got social media. We ain't had that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
even
We
close.
went through the motions. We went through the MySpace, all that.
MySpace.
But, yeah, MySpace.
I remember about
Coding, by the way.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
but you know, it was just so many things, and they have so many apps and technologies. It's crazy.
Who would have thought that we can do the things? Well, obviously somebody thought that's why we have it. But man, the things that we have now with technology, like it's no excuse for anybody to not know anything or not take an opportunity and put themselves,
Right.
you know, if they want a certain platform to do that. You know,
Right.
you have no excuse at this day and age. But a point you made, and I want to talk about that because that's one thing I try to do
Right.
on my social is I try to use my platform because it's more than sports,
Right.
and it's more than broadcast. So I try to use my platform to show people something different because usually what you'll see, you don't see too many men of God who are married and have children, who are business owners who go to church and don't curse and don't smoke and don't drink and don't do any of that stuff. I don't do any, and that's me.
Yeah, that's
in a
you,
nutshell.
right? Yeah.
So I try to share my life with my following, especially because there's a lot of student athletes. So
Right,
I try to
absolutely.
share with them what a good life looks like. It's not all about smoking, drinking, partying, thugging. It's not none of it. That's really not the type of life that you really want.
Right, exactly.
And no offense to anybody who parties and
Yeah,
smokes and
exactly,
drinks. You
exactly.
do
But
what
that's
you
just
do.
not your cup of tea, and
But
you're
it's
not
not-
going to drink that cup of tea. That's
Right,
all.
right. And
Yeah.
I want to try to show these young people something good.
Right.
So I show them showing love to my wife because you never know. Some people may not have ever seen that.
Yeah,
growing up.
exactly.
I show them, me being a dad, a girl dad, especially that's one thing I always liked that me and Kobe, rest in peace to Kobe, me and him had in common.
Right.
Girl dads. I show myself being a dad. I show myself, at church. I show myself, if I'm not okay, I'll say it, just today, and it ain't today. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be okay, but
Yeah.
I'm not okay, and that's okay to be not.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay.
Right.
So I just try to show, something different. Try to use my platform for more than just sports or more than just broadcast. And I try to be an example, better example, like Coach Carter was in that movie.
Yeah.
I try to be a better example to these young people.
Yeah, and that's what I do with my platform too, because a lot of people be like, man, you know what, you can do. What makes you do this? Because like some people be like, man,
That's a
make
great
it so
question.
you make it look so easy. It's not easy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
easy at all. You don't know how many times you could push that rewatch button.
Yep.
How many times you're gonna have to?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to tell you,
Just
it's not,
standing in front of a
Yeah.
camera talking.
it gives you different.
Yes.
Yeah, you
It
can
is
get
not
goosebumps.
easy.
It's not easy. So
not
for me, I just try to tell people, even with organizing, planning, executing, understanding your boundaries, being mindful of your energy, getting over the hump. Because for me, fun fact, I don't like Wednesdays. That's my worst day of the week. The reason why is because I don't feel productive on those days. I don't know what it
Wow.
is. You feel me? I just don't feel productive about that day. Like
Yeah.
I can do the work, but it's like midweek and it's like, I don't want to do something. I got to. Gotta do it anyway, whatever, right?
I feel
So,
that.
but, and then also just the notion of, you have to forgive, you have to listen to understand as opposed to
Yes.
listen to reply. And that's the biggest thing for me, because sometimes, you may listen just to get what you want to hear.
Right.
But you have to understand where that other person is coming from too. And it's going to make you sharper too. So, it's a lot of things.
Marriage taught me that.
Okay.
Marriage.
I'm
taught
not
me
there yet, man. That's a goal of mine one day to get married and have kids. So
Yeah.
shout outs to you because, like I said, being a family man and taking all this responsibility, I can only imagine that, it just increases your confidence, your focus, and your level of dedication into what you're doing because you have more reasons to do what you need to do.
Shout out to my wife. She's the one that really gives me the confidence. Because in my own right, and I kind of said this earlier, like when I was in high school and all that stuff, like me even just sitting here talking with you now, this would not even in the least bit would be happening. Because I'm like, me on camera? Me? No.
Little old me?
I'm gonna sit
You
over
know my?
Yeah, I'm going to sit over here and I'm going to just be quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
to myself. But my wife, man, she's so encouraging.
That's what's
like,
up.
oh my gosh. Like, she believes in the vision of TSDN even when I don't. Like
That's what you need, though.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's for all y'all young brothers out there. You know, don't get it twisted. It's a big booty and a smile is nice, but is she gonna encourage you when you feel like you ain't worth nothing? That's what's important.
Hey, you know, and like I said, are y'all gonna be able to take the bus together, the train together, and
wow,
God, together?
God,
I just wanted to say that because you know sometimes, hey, you know, I remember you used to be, oh, you drive this now. I think I can mess with you now.
Yeah,
but you wasn't there when I sat there and took the metro. You don't remember about that smart trip that I had to sit there and put that 175 on. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just taking it back, showing my age now. But look, I'm just saying because it's that step that you take, right? A lot of people, I say, they in for a reason, they in for a season or a lifetime, right?
Yep, that's true.
And people have to understand, you know, that notion. Sometimes you may overstay your welcome. Or sometimes this may, you know, you got to pay attention to the signs. Some of us, we don't pay attention to the signs, but we got to pay attention to these signs, man. Yeah, man. We definitely do. Because it's hard out here.
Yeah.
It's hard out here. It gets rough out here, man. So, yeah, man. Your favorite genre of music? I never asked you that. I don't ever think I ever asked you that at all. Like, your favorite genre of music?
Growing up, I was a huge hip-hop fan. I'm still a hip-hop fan.
Okay.
But, I got a different DJ. The Lord is my DJ now.
Okay. Every on the ones and twos and heavy on the every spirit. You feel what I'm saying? That's
like
all
that.
good. That's
I'm
good.
gonna use that.
That's good, man.
So I listen to a lot of trap gospel.
Okay.
KB, Lecrae, Andy Mineo, 1K Few,
Okay.
One Day, Hovey. That's usually when I'm cranking to 90% of the time.
That's what's up, man. I'm not gonna
I still listen to Hustle On.
Oh yeah, that's all right,
That's
man.
my
Hey,
song.
you give me a nice little spin. That's all
still
right,
listen to
man.
Hustle On.
Look, hey, I mean, for me, I love hip hop. Just teach me something, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what I'm at.
There you
Just
go.
teach me something. Like, let me know what it is that, you know, drop some game on me.
Right.
You know, because for the youngins out there, I say this a lot. I know that, you know, it's entertaining with what, you know, some of these artists do, and I don't knock people that's getting their money. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, stack your paper, do what you need to do, right? But teach me something and make it some form of generational wealth.
There you go.
I look at your platform as a form of generational wealth, not from a financial standpoint because it's an investment, but it's groundbreaking.
There you go.
It's needed for the next generation, right? This is information. This is something that people can see and get glimpse and glamour of hope, as in like, oh, I can do this too.
Yep.
You making it possible for them to see this. So I think that's how I would look at it. And, you know, with these artists, you know, art and whatever you're doing, like right now in this moment, we're exploring our mess.
Yep.
And it's just, it's mess, and we're exploring it the best way we can. And we're getting the guidance, and we're doing what we need to do. Was heavy on our heart, you know, what God is showing us each and every single day. You know, so that's why, you know, I look at, you know, hip hop for sure, R&B. I can always put on Mary J. Blige. I feel like that's my auntie on the other side of the tree. You know, the other side of the tree, that far tree that you want to sit there and read. Oh yeah, I was looking for you all my life. All my life I was. But she has those records to me that's just transcending. Ages very, very well. I listen to Drake. I'll listen to J. Cole. I
like
to
a lot of
Kendrick
the
Lamar.
early Drake too.
You know, the J. Coles, the Kendrick Lamars, the Nipsey Hussles, the Jay-Z's. The list can go on and on and on. But it's just those people that teach. Right?
One person that I still listen to, and I've heard they were trying to like cancel him or something like that, but I love Eminem.
Yeah,
Eminem's my favorite rapper. And and will forever be my favorite rapper. Not just because, I mean, obviously the dude is crazy with the pen.
Yeah. Crazy with the pen.
But not just that, but because he can really spit.
Right.
Like he started as a battle rapper. Like he can really spit.
Yeah.
And some of the later stuff that he did, like the song Survival does for me what Hustle On does for me. It really, man, it puts me in the zone, almost brings me to tears. It's like, man, I could really, if I'm facing something and it's like, dang,
right.
Those two songs really, 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 man, they get me through.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So, I mean, like I said, for me, I appreciate you because your motivation, your dedication to what you do, bro, on a constant basis, man. I can't stress it enough, dog. Any motivation, anything that you want to tell these people before you get up out of here, man?
Yeah, man. But before I do, man, I just want to say I appreciate you so much, bro.
Love, brother.
From day one in Professor Kenny's class,
yes,
man.
Never switched.
Never switched.
Always guided each other. Always made sure that we was gonna be good, regardless.
Yeah, man. But one thing I will say, is something that I live on. You can do all things through Christ. When I was growing up, when I was young, one thing that I lacked was confidence in myself. When I was in school, sometimes I got picked on. Sometimes, I wasn't the ladies' man or anything like that. And definitely didn't have a relationship with God at that time. So I was kind of just out here. Like I always, got good grades. Like I said, won championships in football. Had a good group of friends. My home life left a lot to be desired, but everybody goes through their own thing. But man, really didn't have any confidence. Really didn't believe in myself at all. Once I accepted Christ and really started to learn what God says about me, and really learned the scripture Philippians 4:13, which says I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
Amen.
That's when I really started to believe in myself. I'm like, man, I really just try to live on that scripture. So anytime I'm getting ready to do something that I've never done before, like which was pretty much 2021 in a whole nutshell, just a whole bunch of stuff that I've never done before. Covering new sports, producing new shows, previewing the football season different. I really stood and still stand on that scripture, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. So regardless of what, I'm getting ready to do, regardless of what I'm facing, regardless of whether or not I think I can do it, I know that God is the one that through God I can accomplish whatever it is that I'm getting ready to accomplish. So I would just encourage everybody, live on that scripture, whether you're a Christian, whether you're religious or not. Live, trust me, those words, I can do all things through Christ. Just let that resonate with you and just believe in yourself. And whatever your vision is, whatever God's put on your heart, whatever it is, I don't care if it's to go to Mars, you can do it and put the work in. Like my man podcast is called.
Grind hard, dream big. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say inspire before you expire. And at the end of the day, just know yourself. Have that confidence. Take that step today, not tomorrow. Take that step.
Now.
Push that button for yourself. Thank me later. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream, man. And we out, man. I appreciate this guy.
You, bro.
All love, man.
All
we
love,
out, man. We out. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream.